one with nature. This idea is very ancient. It is expressed in many old books and myths. In 1854, the Chief Seattle, in his famous speech in front of North American Indians at a tribal meeting, said as follows. That is his quotation. "Every part of this earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the darker woods, every insect is holy in the memory and experience of my people. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The deer, horse, the great eagle, these are our brothers." The same wonderful feeling of being one with nature has always been typical of the Russian people too. And it is expressed in their houses. You see the images of nature on towels, on tablecloths, on clothes, on bed covers, on wallpaper, etc. Look how beautiful our nature is. One can't help admiring its spectacular waterfalls, rocky shores of the oceans and seas, beautiful forests and plains covered with thick green grass. Its trees and flowers and animals and birds, the charming singing of the Kursk nightingales and the delicious taste of the apples Antonovka growing in our region. We love our earth, we love our planet, we love our motherland, we love our Russia, and we love it for many things. We love it for it's our motherland, for its power. We love it for its wise president, for its great people, but most of all, we love it for its nature. And now you will listen to the poem recited by Igor Zhukov. It is called "Russia, I'm in love with you." It is written by one of the students. Now come out here and recite it.
Oh Russia, I'm in love with you. Remember Russia, you are great. Not in the field of battles past, but in the green fields full of wheat, and forests, gardens, free of dust. I love you deeply, dear land, your hills and rivers, sand on strand, your songs and dances, lakes and seas, your beasts and fish, birds and trees, your sunrise and splendid sight, which gives me always such delight.
Thank you very much for your good reciting. Well done. Unfortunately, the development of civilization and man's interference with nature disturbed ecological balance in nature and increased some great problems. Now look at the planet and think of the Earth. 3/4 of the land of our planet is covered with water, and only 1% of it is drinkable. 1/4 is land, and only half of it is inhabitable. Our planet is in danger, and we are anxious about it. Man's influence on the environment caused many ecological problems, and today we are going to speak about them. Now let's formulate, let's make up our today's topic. What do you think of it? Paying attention to my introduction, to my story, and attention to your prepared at home reports and presentations. What can you say about today's topic? What are we going to speak about?
The development of civilization increased great problems in ecology.
In ecology. And what about you, Anya?
People's interference with the environment.
With the environment at the end.
Man's influence on the environment.
That's all right. It's all the same, but we shall take the shortest variant. Man's influence on the environment. That's all right. This problem is very alarming and it is very important. You know some words, some quotation here. I've written it in the manner of a man who lived 2 centuries ago. That is the famous English writer John Goldsworthy. He wrote, "If you do not think of future, you will not have it. Will not have it." That's all right. And so, what are the aims of our today's lesson? For the first time, I'd like you to feel the necessity of to help your planet, to take care of it. I'd like you to use your imagination and use your thinking in the process of learning and discussing these ecological problems. We shall practice your lexics and we shall develop your abilities and skills in different kinds of speech, in speaking, writing, listening comprehension and reading. And so we begin today's our lesson, our discussing with some phonetic drills. There are some words which may be difficult for pronunciation, and now we shall drill a bit them. Now repeat after me. Environment.
Environment.
Campaign.
Campaign.
Encourage.
Encourage.
Swap.
Swap.
Pollution.
Pollution.
Ozone depletion.
Ozone depletion.
Decompose.
Decompose.
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Waste.
Waste.
Wrap.
Wrap.
Greenhouse effect.
Greenhouse effect.
Drought.
Drought.
Earthquake.
Earthquake.
Flood.
Flood.
Now I'd like to read these words together with me. 1, 2.
Environment. Campaign. Encourage. Swap. Pollution. Ozone depletion. Decompose. Fertilizer. Waste. Wrap. Greenhouse effect. Drought. Earthquake. Flood.
Now I'd like you to read the words and translate them into Russian. Now begin. The first word, Katya.
Environment.
Environment. Now what does it mean? Environment.
Окружающая нас среда.
Good. The next, Sasha.
Компания.
Good. Anya.
Encourage.
Encourage. Encourage. What does it mean? They should encourage people to take care of their environment. That's all right. Now the next. Tanya?
Swap.
Swap. You'll mind the letter A after W. Now the next, Arman.
Pollution.
Pollution, that is what?
Загрязнение.
Загрязнение, good. The next, Katya.
Ozone depletion.
Depletion, what does it mean?
Это озоновое истощение.
Да, истощение озонового слоя. That's all right. It's a very great problem nowadays. Now the next, пожалуйста, Илья. What does it mean, decompose? Разлагаться, перегнивать. Так, and the next, Настя.
Fertilizer.
What is the product of decomposition? Удобрение. That's all right. Now the next, Angelina.
Waste.
Waste. That's all right. Igor.
Rap.
Wrap. We wrap.
Заморачивать.
That's all right. The next, Tanya.
Greenhouse effect.
That's all right.
Эффект.
Парни.
Парниковый эффект.
Good. Now the next.
Drought.
That is засуха. And the next, Igor.
Earthquake. Землетрясение.
And the last, Angelina. Flood. That's all right. These are the most difficult in pronunciation words. And now we have come up to the discussion of the problems. And you have prepared some reports. And the first problem is air pollution. Now, who has prepared it? Now come out here. And look at the screen. It will be followed, a story will be followed by some slides.
The problem of air pollution has grown. More and more planes, cars and trucks add their bad breath to the air. The air may be polluted by power stations and factories. Chemicals called sulfates puff out of coal-burning factories. They mix with clouds and then acid rains falls and harm lakes, rivers, plants and living beings. Engineers are figuring out to make coal burn more cleanly. Engineers are trying to invent cars that pollute less. They work on such fuel as soybeans, gas, electricity, etc. People try to use the energy from the sun and the wind. The easiest way to clean the air is to plant more trees, especially birches and poplar trees.
That's all right, thank you. And what are the great polluters on our planet? They are what? Cars, power stations, plants, factories, planes, etc. It's a great problem. Now the next will be cutting down the forests. Sasha, please.
Many species of animals and birds have disappeared. People cut down more trees, build more roads, and use more land for farming.
This leaves.
This leaves fewer jungles, fields, and forests for wildlife. All over the world, forests have disappeared. Forests the size of Belgium destroyed every year.
It's
an international disaster. Even if trees are planted, it takes many years for them to grow.
That's all right, thank you. It's a very important problem. And now let's pass over to another great problem. It concerns disasters. Katya, you will step here and you will look at the screen.
Natural disasters such as storms, floods, thunderstorms, tornadoes, volcanic eruption, earthquakes, hurricanes can damage houses, destroy fields, kill animals and people. We should know how to behave in such situations, and we should ask for help. Emergency workers do their job during and after these types of disasters.
And you are happy to have a special lesson which will need you during different disasters. And now I'd like one of you to come up here and do some crossword. It is here. Nastya, come up to the blackboard, take pencil and do the crossword on disasters, on the names of the words concerning disasters. They are rather difficult. That's all right. Now the next problem is later. It is the problem with which we treat, we deal with every passing day.
It is known that in 1 year, a European family with 2 children throws away about 70 food cans, 34 cans of pet food, and about 70 drinking cans. The Greenpeace reports say that in 1 year, the average person throws away about 50 kilos of paper, that's 6 trees, and 60 kilos of plastic. But you mustn't throw away everything. For example, paper, glass, cloth, metal, and plastic. We can also burn, recycle, and reuse them. In fact, it is possible to recycle about 80% of domestic rubbish. Reuse something before throwing it away. Make a compost heap in the garden with fruit and vegetable material. It will decompose and make a good fertilizer for your plants. Look at the table and see how much time it takes for each kind of litter to be decomposed. Traffic ticket is decomposed for 1 month. Banana peel banana peel for up to 6 months. Wool sock for 1 year. Wooden stakes for 4 years.
Wax paper cup.
Wax paper cup for 5 years. Painted wooden stake for 30 years. Tin cans for 100 years. Aluminium cans and plastic bottles up to 500 years. And glass containers, never.
Thank you. We shall discuss this problem with the help of the text, which was your home task for today. Now I'd like you to open your books at page 64 and 65, and we shall discuss some problems concerning litter, one of the greatest ecological problems. That's all right, but for the first time, what should we do with litter? What can we reduce? You know that there are 3 rules which we are to learn and to practice. What are these rules? What are these rules, Katya?
You can help protect the environment by learning about and practicing the 3 rules: reduce, recycle, and reuse.
And reuse. What can we reduce, Armand? What can we reduce? Are you ready?
Yes.
Take your seat, please. What can we reduce?
Energy consumption.
Now, exercise 1 at page 64. We can reduce.
Water reuse.
That's all right. The next.
Reduce energy
Consumption.
Reduce burning of oil and coal. Reduce rubbish.
Rubbish, good.
Reduce use of cars. Paper
Consumption.
excessive packing.
Packaging. That's all right. And what can we reuse? Пожалуйста, Настя.
We reuse old tins, shoe boxes, jars,
Shoe boxes.
jars and bottles, writing paper, fruit, vegetable peeling, water, old towels, sheets and clothes.
And what can we recycle, Sasha?
Glass.
We can recycle
glass,
glass,
aluminium, paper, and plastic.
plastic. We can continue rubber, cloth, and some different kinds of metal, etc. That's all right. Why do people say it's not waste until you waste it? Why do people say so? Now translate my sentence. It's not waste until you waste it.
Но это не отходы, пока вы их не выбросите.
Не выбросите. Да. What do you think? Now look into the text. Angelina, do this.
Think carefully about how you can reuse something before you throw it away. Make a compost pit in the garden with fruit and vegetable material. It will decompose and make good fertilizer for your plants.
Good, that's all right. That's all right. What does it mean? One man's rubbish is another man's treasure. Now translate it for the first time, Anya.
То, что для вас является мусором, на самом деле это будет сокровище.
Сокровище. Now, can you prove it? Can you prove it from the text?
If you buy a replacement for something you already have, give the old item to someone who can use it.
Have your jeans got holes in the knees? Make new shorts out of them or give them